Good morning, everyone. My name is Nikita Lokhote, and our topic for today is international labor mobility and its effects on different countries. Now, let's first discuss what is labor mobility. Labor mobility is the geographical and occupational movement of workers. And international labor mobility is the movement of workers between different countries. It is an example of international factor movement. The movement of labors is based on differences in resources between countries. According to The Economist, over time, the migration of labor should have an equalizing effect on wages, with workers in the same industries gathering the same wage. There are two primary types of labor mobility. The first one is geographical, and the second one is occupational. Let's discuss what is geographical labor mobility. It refers to the worker's ability to work in a particular physical location, while the occupational labor mobility refers to a worker's ability to change job types. For example, a worker moving from United States to France involves the concept of geographical mobility, whereas an automobile mechanic who changes jobs and becomes an airline pilot refers to as an concept of occupational labor mobility. Now let's discuss some of the causes and effects of international labor mobility. Capital tends to move from high wage countries to low wage countries. However, labor migrates to low wage low wage to high wage countries. Workers usually move to foreign countries in order to get paid more. Labor will migrate to countries with higher labor productivity and higher real wages. Uh, Due to immigration, wages will fall, and due to immigration, real wages should increase. If wages do not fall, despite immigration, employers have no incentive to create additional jobs and immigration, and because of this, it causes unemployment. Due to the fact that countries do not produce the same goods due to differences in technology and due to immigration barriers, real wages across countries will never be equal. For example, companies in Europe which is considered an industrialized country, will outsource those will outsource their activities that use a large amount of unskilled labor. Moving these activities abroad would then lead to a decrease in relative um, demand of low skilled labor in Europe within each industry. This means that outsourcing has a similar effect on reducing the demand for low skilled labor relative to high skilled labor within an industry, as does skill based technological change. Now I'll pass it on to Rosie, and she'll discuss more of the causes and effects of international labor mobility. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rosie, and I'm going to explain the technological advancement and wages. Skill-based technological change reduce the demand for unskilled workers, leading to higher long-term unemployment among low-skilled workers in Europe. So, low-skilled workers would have to receive training in order to retain a job. At the same time, international outsourcing also leads to a shift in relative demand for labor. Firms outsource the low skill intensive parts of production and therefore increase the relative demand for skilled labor. Technological advancement also enabled companies across the world to better communicate with each other. Fast communication is a key factor when you are trading. Better infrastructure and more ways of transportation also enable an increased trade among different countries. And other part is benefits from globalization. According to the traditional trade theory, globalization will equalize the price of products and production factors. Free trade will lead to a more efficient allocation of world resources as competition will shift production to the producers with a lower production cost. This more efficient allocation of resources will boost growth with positive effects on social welfare. Innovation and increased international competition can lead higher productivity, higher wages, and improved living standards. Consumer welfare will improve due to a decrease in prices. However, the fall in prices relies on level of competition in the product market. Other is outcome, and outcome is if economies have different capital labor ratios, free factor mobility will encourage capital to move from the economies with low capital labor ratio to those in which capital is relatively scarce. This process will affect the distribution of income since it will increase the relative income of capital in the countries initially with high capital labor ratio. As globalization accelerates further, both costs and benefits will tend to rise while costs such as higher unemployment and income inequality will concentrate in the short run, while benefits in the form of lower prices, higher productivity, and income will only occur later on. And the next part is explained by my friend Wenchen. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wenjing Wang. I'm going to talk about the other part of the body, and then I'll give a conclusion for our report. I'll give an example for the European Union countries. The workers in European countries are classified as Euro immigrants and non-Euro immigrants. The Euro immigrants are made up from its member countries, as the non-Euro immigrants are mostly come from the Africa or the Asia countries, and most of them are unskilled. So as a result, some of them are facing unemployment in the worker market. But through they will face unemployment, some of them still want to get work in Euro countries because the benefits are greater than their wages in their home country. And because the benefits are greater, I have to discuss about the benefits. For examples, in Germany, its labor market goes through a tripartite policy rather than a government decision. This policy will guarantee that workers' union will play a significant role. Moreover, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. In conclusion, the movement of workers within and across the nation boundaries is an important issue during the period of increasing innovation and inventions. Also, this is in the relationship with saving cost and providing large-scale production. The main cause for the labor in the movement is the difference of wages between the countries. There is no doubt that people always move from the lower wage to the higher wage countries. Another main reason is to get skills, which will help people to get good jobs. All in all, people have ability to move and get job overseas is mainly caused by the demand of wages and skills. Therefore, we have our group think good control and efficient management are important for both of the immigration and the economies. That's all for today. The reference is shown in the report. Thank you.